Golden Jobbergs! Welcome once again to my channel. This is Sir Job and welcome to Sir Job TV. Para po sa mga new explorers at saka newly discovered lang po ang aking channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for you to be updated for my future videos. So yesterday we discussed about the agents of socialization. So for today's video, I will be discussing to you the concept of ascribed statuses and achieved statuses. Welcome to my video number 38. Through socialization, individuals learn to analyze and evaluate the appropriateness of things. According to Pero Worsley, values are general conceptions of the good ideas about the kind of ends that people should pursue throughout their lives, and rights, patriotism, respect for human dignity, rationality, sacrifice, individuality, equality, and others guide our behavior in many ways. Hence, values are relative depending on its context. So good morning once again, Golden Jobbergs. So we are now on the discussion of the MELC under UCSP-Q1-MELC4. This is the part 4 of our discussion in MELC number 4. So again, our topic for this morning is all about the ascribed statuses and achieved statuses. A sociologist, Robin Williams, attempted to identify the major orientations of many societies. So a sociologist, Robert Williams, chinek niya, he evaluated the different aspects or orientations of values from different societies from around the globe. So according to Robert Williams, as he arranged in a pyramid form, so nagkaroon siya ng pyramid form neto, kung ano yung mga preferences ng society when it comes to the value orientations. So the first one, according to Robert Williams, is the achievement. Pinaka-high po, nasa peak po siya ng pyramid, is the achievement and success. Ito po yung pinaka-high, ito po yung, pinaka-target po ito ng lahat ng tao, the achievement and success. The next one, followed by achievement and success, we have the activity and work. The third one is the moral orientation. The fourth one is humanitarianism. And the number 5, or the last one, yung pinaka-bottom in the pyramid, is the efficiency and practicality. So, kung titingnan po natin ang pyramid na ito, if we are going to evaluate the pyramid, makikita natin na lahat, almost everyone in the world is aiming for achievement and success. Nasa peak po. Pero, because this is a pyramid, if we are going to analyze, maliit lang po ang nakaka-achieve. Because, kagaya nga ng pyramid, the picture of the pyramid, okay, if this is now the pyramid, so yung portion dito, ito yung achievement at saka success. Mas marami po ang nasa efficiency and practicality. That's how sociologist Robin Williams identify the value orientations of different societies. According to Robin Williams, we have the number 1, pinaka-high, the pinaka-peak ng pyramid, we have achievement and success, then activity and work, moral orientation, humanitarianism, and efficiency and practicality. So in a study about, so that's how we are going to evaluate the different societies across the globe. So now let's focus on our attention on Filipino values. In a study about Filipino values, Jaime Bulatao, or SG, or Society of Jesus, also known as the Father Boo, discovered the following values held highly by Filipinos. So when we are talking only about Filipinos, when we are focusing on Filipinos, ano yung arrangement nila when it comes to value orientation? Pinaka-high, or number 1 in the peak of the pyramid, we have the emotional closeness and security in the family. This is very common in the Filipino culture, in the Filipino values. We have the emotional closeness and security in the family. Family first po talaga ang mga Filipinos. Kahit anong mangyari, no, basta sama-sama, kahit gaano kahirap, basta sama-sama. That's the concept of the Filipinos in the very first place. So yan ang number 1, pinaka-high peak. Then the next one is the authority value. okay? And the sense of ownership, okay? Then the third one is economic and social betterment. Okay, ito po talaga yung target. Isa sa mga target is, of course, to be secured economically speaking. So, the fourth one is patience, suffering, and endurance. Okay, socialization as a continuous process serves as an avenue for developing self-concept, which is essential in role identification. The self responds to categories called social statuses. So, when we are speaking of socialization, the main highlight talaga, the highlight of this particular concept is really developing of self-concept. Paulit-ulit ko pong sinasabi sa inyo that when there is socialization, when there is interaction, when there is genuine interaction with people, then therefore, there is also self-development that might be taking place at that particular socialization of different social actors. So basically, that's really the point that you have to understand. So when we are speaking of self-response, it is also associated with a concept of social statuses. The child must learn the categories or statuses by which to identify or define himself or herself, like being a daughter, friend, students, or others. So this is how we are going to identify ourselves. Sino ka in the interaction? Sino ka in the society? What is your identity in the society? So that's basically the point. Before we have to discuss further what is ascribed statuses and achieved statuses, let us first recognize or define the concept of social status. When we are speaking of social status, it refers to, or as how they read, social status accordingly. Kung paano daw ito basahin, this is social status. Social status refers to the position an individual occupies in society and implies an array of rights and duties. Let's focus our attention on the portion position an individual occupies in the society. Yan ang sinasabi ko sa iyo kanina. Ano ang rank mo in the society? What is your profession, by the way, in the society? You are a teacher? Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse? Or whatever position. Now, pinaka-famous, naging trending ngayon, are you a policeman? Na ano, what's your job in the first place, no? Kasi naka-identify yan eh. Pag yan ang role mo in the society, kung ano ang identification mo in the society, there is also an association, there is also an association of accountability or responsibility. Pag yan ang identity mo, again, meron siyang accountability at saka responsibility. So you have to perform and you have to work according to your purpose in the society. What is your identity in the society in the first place? Okay? So I hope we have to live according to our identity. Kung sino tayo as a person in that particular society, or kung sino tayo as a member in that particular society. Do you get my point in that particular portion? So I hope you could be able to get that. Kasi pag bata ka, this is your role. Pag teenager ka, this is your role. Pag you are a grandparents, grandmother, grandfather, this is also your role. Okay? So, whatever your positions in life, that's your identity, and again, identity has corresponding accountability and responsibility at the end of the day. So, you should have to stand by that. Related to status is a social role which involves the pattern of expected behavior in social relationships with one or more persons occupying other statuses. So this is how you are going to interact. Okay? It doesn't mean na you have this particular position, like yung nangyayari ngayon, no, na namaril ang isang police, for example. It doesn't mean na you are in the position you own already the world. No. Ang goal mo as a social actor and being identified with that particular identity, okay, in the society, ang goal mo is not to act like God. It's not to act like having a superpower, but to integrate yourself in the society, in the general scope of society. That's your goal. It's not because may power ka, may rank ka, may position ka, mayaman kayo, you are influential family, you are a prominent family, then you will also have to act like having a superpower. No, that's not actually the point. Okay? Identifying your status in the society implies that you need to act on how you are being identified. Okay? You connect yourself, no, with the general group. Okay? Or you connect yourself in the society. That's basically the point. No? Expected behavior in a social relationship with one or more persons occupying other statuses. Kasi in a social interaction, you always have to remind yourself na sa interaction, iba't iba po ang buhay natin. We are in different ranks, we are in different status, we are in different identity. So yun ang dapat ilagay mo sa isipan mo. Even the kind of thinking for a certain person nagva-vary. Hindi po the same ang ating mindset, hindi po the same ang ating connotation. So the goal here is to understand one another. Why? In order for us to achieve harmonious relationship with each other. So that's basically one thing that supposedly the goal of everyone as interaction continues to progress. So now let's focus on our attention on ascribed statuses and the achieved statuses. So when we are speaking of ascribed statuses, those which are assigned to the individual from birth. Okay? It involves little personal choice like age and sex. Okay? It carries with certain expectations of behavior. Ito yung mga sinasabi nating tinatawag nating ascribed statuses. Ano ang mga examples ng mga ascribed statuses? The first one, you have to recognize yung age mo, kasi you have no choice kung ano ang edad mo ngayon, yan na talaga ang age mo. The birth order, kung magpang-ilan ka sa siblings niyo, yan ay ascribed status. Okay? Number 3, we have daughter or son. Okay? And then, of course, yung ethnicity mo, that is an ascribed status. And then, your inherited wealth. Kung mayaman na kayo, kung ipinanganak kang mayaman, yung parents mo mayayaman talaga sila, so that is part of the ascribed statuses. These are the examples of ascribed statuses. Okay, so now let's proceed to the achieved statuses. Okay, when we speak of achieved statuses, it is acquired by choice. Okay, it is acquired by choice. Okay, you have a lot of options: merit or individual effort. Take note of that line. It is acquired by choice, merit, or individual effort. It is made possible through special abilities or talents, performance, or opportunities. Choice in occupation, marriage, joining a religious organization are some of the examples. Okay? So, highlight natin dito pag sinabi natin achieve statuses, meaning to say, meron kang options, meron kang choice, there are a lot of opportunities that can be, okay, observed pag sinasabi nating achieve statuses. Meaning to say, kung ipinanganak kang mahirap, pwede kang maging mayaman. You have the right na maging mayaman, no? Magtiyaga ka lang, effort lang, and then do something great, maging madiskarte sa buhay, you can be rich. Okay? That is an achieved status. Meaning to say, lahat ng status na pwede mong baguhin, okay, like for example, becoming an athlete, a lawyer, a doctor, a parent, a spouse, a criminal can be a choice. No, if you want to be in prison, okay, or if you want to be in jail, okay, that's your choice. Or if you want to become a thief or a university professor, lahat ng pwede mong gawin, okay, lahat ng pwede mong ma-achieve, that is an achieved status. Okay? Pero yung mga bagay na hindi mo pwedeng baguhin, yung mga bagay na hindi mo na pwedeng ma-achieve, that is considered as ascribed statuses. Okay? Naintindihan niyo po ang kaibahan ng ascribe at saka ang achieved statuses? Okay, again, pag pwede pang baguhin, that is achieved statuses. Pag hindi na pwedeng baguhin, that is ascribed statuses. Okay? Individuals learn their roles through the different agents of socialization. So I'm sure you know already what are the agents of socialization. We discussed already yesterday. We have the family, the school, the church, the peer group, and the workplace, and the last one is the mass media. So these are the factors na naka-influence sa development ng isang tao, as I said sa aking previous video. Okay, this avenue for socialization molds individuals in relation to the expected behavior patterns. The essential in role-playing are, so ano yung mga kailangan mo in the interaction? Balikan natin konti. Let's trace back kasi ito yung second to the last portion of the MELC4 of becoming a member of society. Remember, our highlight in discussing MELC number 4 is becoming a member of society. So ano yung role mo as part of the society in the very first place? So basically, before we have to end up this particular MELC, we have to discuss first ano yung role mo as a member of a society. Okay, in the role playing, because you are a social actor, as I said, diba? You are a social actor in the interaction. So basically, you have to play. Life is a role play. So you have to play the game well. The first one is a definition of the role and identification of self. Number one, highlight po talaga dito sa number one, identification of self. In order for you to become a successful social actor, the first thing that you need to do is to identify yourself. Very important po ito na makilala natin ang ating sarili. Sino ba ako in the interaction? Who am I as a social actor? You define. Okay, you define your worth. You define yourself. Do not let others or do not wait others to define you. You define yourself. That's basically very important. Okay? So that's the first thing that you need to do as a social actor, and that's very important in the interaction. Second, behavior in given situations appropriate the role. Okay? Umarte ka kung saan ito naaayon. 'Di ba sinabi ko sa inyo noon, if you are in Rome, act like a Roman. If you are in America, act like an American. If you are in church, act like a religious person. Lahat na yan. If you are in school, act like a student, a teacher, and whatever. Kasi kung saan tayo na lugar, that is part of your role. Oy, andito ako sa lugar na to. So this is how I'm going to act myself. It's not that you have to show who you are really wherever you want. Hindi yan yung concept na nagpapakatotoo lang ako sa aking sarili. No. Kasi pag umarte ka in a normal setup, ganun pa rin ang pinapakita mo sa ibang tao, then of course, for sure, may maaapakan ka talaga in the interaction. Okay, kaya ang point ko dito is, umarte ka ng naaayon sa role. Or umarte ka, it depends upon the situations kung saan ka ngayon in the very first place. You have to think about it. Okay? Kasi alam nga naman, nasa library ka and then you have to shout, you have to converse with your friends na napakalakas. Do you think that is correct? Oh, so natapakan mo na yung karapatan ng iba because napakalakas ng boses mo in a very silent library. So that's how we are going to understand this particular portion. Behavior in given situations appropriate the role. Okay? Do you get me? Number 3, a background of related acts by others or counter rules which serve as cues and guide specific performances. You have to, what? Highlight a background of related acts by others. So you have to check, aside from identifying yourself and then understanding the situation, the third one is you have to trace, okay, the background of the person you are being interacting. Okay? Kasi hindi kayo magkakaroon ng harmonious relationship or harmonious interaction if you will just have to think for yourself. The first step in the interaction is to identify ourselves, correct? Yan ang pinaka ng number one goal. But it's not limiting on that. Hindi dyan nagtatapos ang lahat. Okay? Again, ang step number 3 is to identify the background of the one you are interacting. The fourth one is an evaluation by the individual and by others of the performance of the role. So ngayon, ang titingnan natin sa rule number 4 is you have to understand now the interaction. Okay, meaning to say you identify yourself and you also identify the self of the other person you are being interacting, and then tingnan mo, you observe the general movement of the people. Okay? Ano ang nangyayari? If this is going to be my action, and if that is going to be the action of the person, okay, that I am interacting, what is happening? Okay? Or what is expected to be happen in that particular interaction? So that's how you are going to evaluate. Meaning to say, this is now the holistic part or the conclusion part as how we are going to see the interaction of society, or as how we are going to evaluate you as a social actor, as part of the society, and that person in the interaction as also part of the society. Okay? So, meaning to say the holistic movement of the society ang titingnan natin dito at the end of the day. So meaning to say that both sides should be interpreted, the both sides should be evaluated, the both sides should be assessed at the very end of the day. So this is how we are going to play the role of the interaction. So that would be all for this morning. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope that you will share this video to your friends and to anybody else that you think na kailangan ng video na ito. Asahan niyo po that Sir Job TV will continue to give you meaningful discussion, especially in the field of social sciences. Thank you once again for watching. Bye-bye!